In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's from a world full of chaos and noise. silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, aka Captain America today. Captain America was a superhero, as I am now, who defended those marginalized, those persecuted during World War II, and I still stand for those who are marginalized today. A true patriot in my mind, those who stand for all people. So welcome to our service today. We have a superhero service, a superhero message, and a superhero gathering afterwards. So glad you're with us today. And we also have a superhero musician today, Daniel Nahmod, so we're turning it over to him.
Wow, that costume is way better than mine. Thank you for having me. Welcome to my little home in Orange County, California. And I am wearing a costume, by the way. My costume is middle-aged dad who was raised to have a corporate or professional or academic job, not a singer-songwriter job, which results in me wearing pressed button-down shirts to sing no matter where I sing. That's my costume, and I think I'm selling it. That's just my opinion. Anyway, it is 2 days before Election Day. I was telling Kristen before we started, this song just popped into my head. We're all looking for a little bit of calm, a little bit of cooperation, a little bit of civility. And this song is, I actually wrote it for an event with Deepak Chopra years ago, and I still stand by it, even though it's very sing-songy, but that makes it a perfect sing-alongy, so let's do it. The chorus should be available to you on a screen, and if it isn't, sing along with me anyway. Make up the words if you can't figure them out. That's what I do for a living, and it's pretty fun. Here we go. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born. No, there's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Well, some say I'm out of touch with the times, that this world is no place for a vision like mine. Well, still I can see it, and still I believe it. There's too many lives on the line. There's so many lives on the line. Let's do this chorus a couple times. You ready? We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, and kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better. Oh, you and I. We breathe the same air, breathe the same air. Oh, yeah. I could almost hear you from there. Thanks for singing.
We bless you today, all of you, right where you are. We welcome those who might be here for the first time. This actually may be your last time after you see this service, wondering who we are. But those of you who are regulars know that sometimes we get a little crazy this time of year and we dress up, and this year is no different. We want to celebrate our abundance and celebrate the superpower within us this morning. So we celebrate with you right where you are in your homes, and we know that you have a superpower in you greater than you are, and that you can use this and we can use it together for good. We bless those who are here for the first time, and those people are continuing to tune in to our streaming services by simply raising our shield and our hand by saying, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And also our vision and mission statement, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. So good for you to join us in our superhero team to create this vision and mission this morning. Thank you for being with us. A few announcements today. This is Superhero Sunday, as you can tell. We've also been part of our pledge campaign for our cards of intent. We're encouraging you to estimate how much you'll be giving in 2021. I know this is not easy to do because of the times we're in, but remember, it's a card of intent. It can always be adjusted as you need to later on. But it helps us to budget and plan to be responsible and good caretakers of the money you do donate, the Board of Trustees and myself. And also we know that by participating in giving as a conscious giving practice, it increases your abundance, your prosperity, your openness to the good that's in all of life. And we just bless you and appreciate all you've been doing so far. We have received pledge for over $50,000. So we are celebrating this abundance. Today, after services, we're having a special superhero gathering, and we'll also have cards of intent and baskets available for you to drive by and bring those by today. If you haven't turned yours in yet, we would appreciate it. We'll still be accepting them into November, but the sooner they're in, the better, because it helps us to plan our budget. So we do appreciate all that you've been doing. So today at 11:45, We're going to have a drive-by parade if you want to drop your card of intent off that way. You can also park and walk into our courtyard with mask and at social distance, of course. And we have some signs you can create that show your superpower, and you can take pictures. We have a backdrop with little superhero signs on it, and you add your sign, you get your picture, and then we're going to make a collage of all your signs and all your photos and all that you've got. So we appreciate you being a part of that. There's a conspiracy awry. The other thing I want to let you know, if you have not seen the obvious behind me, it's more than Superhero Sunday. This is also at our center, we're celebrating Dia de los Muertos, if I can say that, Martes, and it's the Day of the Dead, traditional Central American and Mexican ritual and day when we honor those people that have passed on before us. And this year in particular, I think it's an important year because we've had a lot of losses this year, of family, of friends, of pets, of just dear ones, of a loss of life that we haven't had a normal thing, normal events, loss of income, loss of jobs, loss of meaning, so many losses. And so you're welcome to participate in this by, there's a Zoom link that'll be online that you can and watch what Imelda Gomez, our practitioner, who set up this altar with a few of her fellow group that are set this up, and it's a celebration, but it's more about an honoring of those people that have passed before us, our ancestors. And it's also a time when you can remember your ancestors and those people you lost this year, to remember those who passed on as a blessing, that they are such grateful that they were in your life, and a way to remember them in that way. The other big thing going on this week is Michelle and I are starting a new class called The New Gratitude, Cultivating a Grateful Life. What makes it fun is when you sign up, we'll provide you little packets of information about each of the 3 Thursdays before Thanksgiving. Just a more playful class. It's not certified. There's no homework. It's just for fun. But it is the practice of gratitude before Thanksgiving, especially this year, I think is a good year to do that. And then we have our regular events this week, meditation on Wednesday in English or Spanish. We have the recovery group and ongoing things. So we do appreciate you being a part of this and participating. And now, without further ado, it's back to Daniel Nahmod.
Hello again. Thank you. The more I look at your costume, by the way, the more inadequate I'm feeling, so I appreciate that. You mentioned Dia de los Muertos, and you mentioned the losses this year, and the theme of the morning being superhero. This is a song I wouldn't normally play leading into a meditation, but it comes to mind because for me, I sing songs, I hold my wife's hand, I support my family, I fill the fridge with milk. I'm not a hero. I do the best I can where I am with what I've got. I raise my boy with as much kindness and center and values as I can, and as much love as I can. I've learned over the years, I imagine I'll continue to learn, but I've learned over the years that doing the best I can with what I have makes me a mini superhero and lets me put my head on the pillow at night feeling like I have in fact done enough. That to go to sleep racking my brains over the things I hadn't achieved and looking at the to-do lists and feeling inadequate, like I say about my costume, ironically, or lack of costume, that does nobody any good. But it does me good and everyone around me good for me to do the good that I can do right in front of me and let the rest be, at least until tomorrow when I do the same thing again. This is a song that references death of one kind or another, and you can draw your own conclusions about whatever it means or however it feels to you. It's a song from an album of mine called Water from a few years back now. It might feel especially pertinent at a time when we're wondering what good we can do, what difference we can make. And this song is intended to dial it in, to the narrowest possible, most achievable, attainable, and reasonable and realistic expectation for yourself, that we each do the good that we can do and let the rest be. If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
Thank you, Daniel Nahmod. What a way to center ourselves this morning. So wherever you are, do what it takes to get comfortable. Close your eyes if you like, and bring your attention to the breath. It is in the breath where life is, where God is. Breathe in, breathe out. Move your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, touching your forehead if you like. All that God is, I am. Move your awareness to your heart area, placing your hand over your heart. Knowing God is all there is, imagine that your heart is a source of light and a source of love. Let us have a moment of silence where we know that our light and our love is going into the whole world, touching all. Breathing in, breathing out. Let us gently open our eyes and be in this now moment. And God is always here now. Amen. Okay. Good morning again. Indeed, you've got to know this is Superhero Sunday. And please know that every time I say superhero, I also mean superheroine. Of course, Jay has invited us to dress up, and the people here are dressed up. And I wanted to dress up, but when I looked at those superheroines, when I looked at Wonder Woman, Batgirl, I said, I'm going to pass this time. No thanks. However, I was really excited when I found out that today was my turn to be on platform. I was excited because we all know what the day after tomorrow is. Now, this is not the venue, and it's not appropriate to mention politics or political parties, so I'm going to stick to superheroes. And you know, what many of us think about a hero, who a hero is, and surely the kid in us knows, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all the Marvel comic characters. A hero is a real person, or a fictional one, that faces danger, that faces adversity of some kind. They have what I call a warrior spirit. As you know, heroes show great courage, great strength against overwhelming odds and extreme hardship, all kinds of hardship. There exists a list of the 50 greatest heroes of all time, from ancient times to the present. People like Moses, we all know what he did, Julius Caesar, Douglas MacArthur, even Neil Armstrong is on the list. But guess who is number one? The number one hero on that list. Ladies, you need to swing your capes. It is Joan of Arc, number one. What that list showed me, with all its diverse people, was that anyone from any background can be a hero or a heroine. I exhort you, please, please see this month's movie, The Black Panther. The Black Panther is our first superhero that's black, African American. Also, Chadwick Boseman, the actor who played the Black Panther, was considered a superhero himself. Take a minute right now and look around the room where you are. Are there any photos? If not in that room, in your house. And if you don't have any photos, think of a family member. Someone who's still with you, or maybe someone that's passed. Anybody your hero? Anybody mentor you, help you, guide you, or just be your friend? It could be a grandmother, a teacher, someone like Reverend J, or maybe a complete stranger. The whole point I want to leave with you is this: superheroes are everywhere, truly, but I don't want you to take it from me. Here is a superhero, a superheroine, in fact. She says that superheroes are everywhere. And she goes on to say that superheroes make a difference together. Even though this book was written for children, she tells how we can all be superheroes. She gives the superhero code. I'm going to take this code, and I hope you will do it with me. The first thing to do is to raise your right hand and say the words that are on the right-hand side out loud. I promise to make people feel special. Be someone people can count on. Help people to be brave. Stand up for what's right. Be a best friend. Protect people who need it. Thank you very much. You are all superheroes.
Have a special video from Daniel Nahmod about superheroes that lets you know that we're all superheroes.
I always wanted a red cape on my back. I always wanted to be the best in my pack. I always wanted to be known to be good, to be the hero of my own hood. If I could just fly, I could save everyone. Stop all the wars so nobody's gotta run. All the killing, all the crimes, pain and suffering. It's getting tougher to be buffered from it all. Are we gonna make it through? Is he gonna fly back in? Cause if he don't come right now, I don't think good will win. Time is running out. Do we wanna wait for him? Or is it our time now to bring the good back in? We don't have to leap tall buildings. There's a lot of good that we can do. We don't need a jetpack suit. It's up to me and you. Right here, right now. Superhero. Na 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 na. We're superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero. Na 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 na. Superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. The world is full of so much pain, and though I can't fly, I can do my little part here before I die, yeah. I may not win the Nobel Prize, but at least I can try to be a little more kind, spend a little more time in my changed life, yeah. Like giving a hug when somebody is down, feeding a soul when there's nobody around. Small things that can change the sound and the vibe of the spirit that can change a town. Started small, now it's touched the crowd. The crowd is growing, the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah. We don't have to leap tall buildings. There's a lot of good that we can do. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. We're superheroes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superheroes, na 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 na. The superhero.
It's the smallest things that make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free, yeah. We don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman.
We don't have to leave tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the clouds. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. We're superheroes. We're superheroes. And the vibe of the spirit that can change a town. Superhero. Everybody's rolling out, the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the cloud. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah.
Superheroes, we're talking about all superheroes and all of you that are superheroes, and especially during this time, the first responders that we have, both healthcare professionals, mental health care professionals, teachers, all the frontline people, our firefighters. And I loved how that video at the end showed when we first, in March and April, when COVID hit New York so strong, they had a ritual, an event happen every day when at 12-hour intervals, when the nurses and doctors got out of the hospital, there'd be a line of firemen and policemen who would do that they would applaud for them and all that they were doing. And you know, this COVID's making us a little numb, a little bit used to it too much. I think we want to make sure and applaud all those mental health care workers, all the first responders, policemen, firemen, firefighters, teachers that are continuing to put their own life at risk so that we can have health and safety and security and education. So we just appreciate all of you. The other note I want to make about the video is the rapper in that. His name is Nemo Patel, and he is actually going to be our guest musician at the end of this month. So it's kind of fun to have him working with Daniel Nahmod on that video, and then he'll be with us at the end of the month to kind of give you an introduction to who he is. So we're excited about that. The other piece I mentioned briefly earlier about the altar that's here for Dia de los Muertos, and I'm going to move out of the way so you can see it a little bit better because it's absolutely beautiful. I just think it has this tradition, as I mentioned, Imelda Gomez set this up along with several of her community that's part of our Spanish ministry. And it's just beautiful, and they'll be in here. And like I said, you're welcome to join them. We weren't able to get the Spanish-English translation going, but if you've ever heard her pray in Spanish, you know that Spirit runs deep within her consciousness, and I know in this ritual it will be as well. So I hope you can be a part of that, or maybe create your own altar in your own home for those whom you've lost this year, to honor them and honor who they are. So I just continue in this idea that we are here for some greater purpose, that the superpower within us is a power for good, as Ernest Holmes would call it, and that we can use it, let it use us for good in the world. And that we open up to what that might be. Now, like my character and many superheroes, Captain America that I am, he went through a transformation process. And many of the superheroes do go through a change, metamorphosis. Spider-Man got bit by the spider. Superman came from another planet, so there's this change and transformation. And also they need to change clothes, either in a phone booth, or they move so fast that we can't even see them change clothes. And what a way to talk about how our superpower within us becomes revealed. It's opened up to who we really are. Now, for example, Superman is Clark Kent, and all the superheroes have an alias. But my question is, who are we really? Are we the layers of the world around us, the suits we wear, the clothes we wear? Are we this deeper divine superhero within us? I would suggest it is the latter who we are. This divine self that has ultimate energy, and within us is this power to heal, this power to reveal, this power to be greater than our little self and step into our superhero-ness. Remember, in the transformation that Superman and Spider-Man has, and Captain America, we became stronger. We could take off our glasses, our visions were better, we became faster and more able. And I'm saying that you are more than enough, and each of us has this power to become greater than our small self. And it's a matter of finding this deeper connection, this deeper recognition of spirit within us that is our superpower, that we are enough. Raymond Charles Barker, I'm looking for the right, just hang on just a minute. I need to get to this quote. Raymond Charles Barker said, "All intelligence abides in your subconscious and awaits your call upon it. You may say you do not know what to do, but at the center of your mind is the clear decision you should make. It is right there." So even in our lostness, of our unsureness, the truth is that Spirit is always present with us. I came across another author. His name is Jason Reynolds, and he said this: having a superpower has nothing to do with the ability to fly or jump or have superhuman strength. The truest superpowers are the ones we all possess: willpower, integrity, and mostly important, courage. What I love about this guy, Jason Reynolds, is he's a fascinating guy. I came across his quote, and then I searched more about him. He's African-American, Puerto Rican, mixed heritage, that at an early age, 9, began rapping and writing poetry, but he wasn't much into reading. It wasn't 17 until he read a book from cover to cover, and he began to discover authors like Toni Morrison and James Baldwin and other African-American authors that were amazing. And out of this, at first he thought he couldn't write like that, but someone encouraged him to find his voice. And he began to write books about race and culture and about his life and what he knew. And it developed inspiration for young people as well as adults about awareness, and gave them permission to be themselves. And he also created a superhero, an African-American Puerto Rican Spider-Man that didn't come from the suburbs and come to save people in the city, actually came from the city and was part of life there. So I just love that story about him finding his superpower, which was writing. And he had to find his own way, his own truth in doing that, not to compare himself to these great writers like a James Baldwin or Toni Morrison. We may not be that, but we can be more, allowing and discovering these superpowers in us. So what are these superpowers we might have? They might be forgiveness, kindness, empathy, clarity, some sort of service, or perhaps a social action, a light bearer, a joy bringer, a unifier, able to bridge different gaps, powerful but not overpowering. The list is infinite. And in a way, we have all of these powers, but there's certain powers that are your superpowers, that you do better than anybody else. Not better necessarily, but you do it really well. And it's and you know it because it's your passion, it's your joy, it's what people say you do well. They mirror back to you. In their presence, you are able to create peace or joy or love or stability, or you're clear about something, you advocate for something in terms of social justice or politics, and that too can be your superpower that's really powerful. This year, we have, it's part of currently in Latinx Cultural History Month. We haven't done much with it this year because a lot of the specialness of the Latina cultural days are the events, and we just haven't been able to have those events. But I don't want it to slip by without talking about a few superpowers superheroes that I know that came from the Latinx community, primarily here in California, but they developed into a national and international influence and impact on their lives. So the ones I want to mention are Sylvia Mendez, who was a Mexican Puerto Rican who played a key role in desegregating California schools. Juan Felipe Herrera was the 21st United States Poet Laureate in 2015. We had Rafi Friedman Gurspan, who is a transgender right activist, who's actually the first openly transgender person to work as a White House staffer for President Barack Obama. Chief Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who also is advocating, obviously, for the rights of all people as part of the U.S. Supreme Court Justice. And, of course, Dolores Huerta and Cesar Chavez, who fought for the rights of laborers and civil rights activism, as well as women's rights for Dolores. They have a statue up on Main Street. You haven't seen it, it's up on the second floor above the restaurants there. It's really beautiful. And then we even, astronauts who, both Ellen Ocho and Franklin Chang Diaz were both astronauts, physicists, and scientists who went up in space. So we have such a variety of people as part of this Latinx history, and they are great examples of things they did well. For example, they were physicists or scientists, or they were workers in the fields, and they sought to, some passion in them came out that made an influence on other people, a passion for civil rights and human rights, and a passion for writing, a passion for education. You don't have to be the best in a field, and I know many of you might be in a career field already, or perhaps past your career field, so you're not looking for a new job. You're not looking to go up in space necessarily. However, that which you are, these strengths you have, come out in everyday life, who you can be, and to exercise your superpower choice in every way you do, because in a way, every choice you make can be from this empoweredness, this superpower that you have. Now, right now, as it comes up, one of the most important superpower choices you can make is to vote. Many of you have already voted. I know I have. And yet I also want to say, beyond the election that happens on Tuesday, or whenever we know the results, every day we make choices that are a vote towards making the world a better place. Through our intention, through showing our superpower, our attitudes, the love that we show. And that it's important for us to, in a way, I know people are going to jump up and down from their couches this moment. I'm going to say it doesn't matter who wins. Yeah, you're going to be upset about that one. But the truth is, it does matter who wins. And, you know, there's a Buddhist saying. The Buddhist saying says, when you're enlightened, before enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, you chop wood and carry water. Before the election, we chopped wood and carried water. After the election, we chop wood and carry water. The results of the election do not change spiritual principles. It does not change our superpower and the work we have to do in the world. As Captain America, the reason why I wanted to be this character is I will continue to stand for the rights of others, for the women's right to choose, for all marginalized people, for the rights of all people, for equality and equity, for healthcare system that covers pre-existing conditions at reasonable rates, and that every person has access to health care, and that it's important that these, just a few of these things that are important, the environment, just the condition of our earth that are important, that we continue to make choices towards making a difference socially, politically, but also to make the world a unified place. Before the election, after the election, there's a big divide in this country. No matter who is elected, and our officials locally, statewide, nationally, we need to do what we can to bridge this gap. We need to do what we can to reach out and create a world that works for everyone, not just for a few people. So as Captain America, I hope you join me in this fight, in this truth. Captain America, during World War II, he was considered too small, too frail, too weak to be a soldier. He tried to enlist, and he applied for a government program where he was transformed into a stronger, more powerful person. And so he during World War II, he fought for those that were being persecuted. And so today I still stand in that way. I allow myself to be transformed by Spirit, to be open to what is highest and good and what is powerful through me. What I know, my superpowers are empathy, listening, creating a peaceful presence, connecting different groups of people, facilitating, inspiring, and all these things. I want to be clear, this is not bragging. And I'll tell you the difference for me about bragging. Because if I said it was me doing all this, that would be bragging. But it is Spirit through me that does this. I also know that my kryptonite, my limitation, my weakness is becoming over busy, saying yes to too many things, and then I'm not available to do these kind of things. I'm not as powerful. I'm weakened by being burdened in my head by distractions and things like that. So I also know that part of my superpower needs to say no so I can say yes. And so we recognize our own superpowers, but we also recognize our own kryptonite, our own limitation, our own weakness that keeps us from being in this power, what disempowers us. What allows us to step into this empower is that our judgments, our criticisms of other people, our disconnection, our going unconscious. There are times we're going to grieve that we are going to not be able to do everything. And that is a recapturing of our energy, re-energization, because the superpower is within, not outside of us. So we need to tap back into our deeper connection. And then we practice the presence. Now, practice does not make perfect. We practice the perfect because the perfect is within us. And so we practice our powers in the world, and we need to refine them sometimes. Sometimes don't work out. I have a funny clip here from a show about Supergirl. And I don't know the show at all. I just found this clip online about she was developing her costume. And the first thing she did was develop it without a cape. And she tried to do a fast car chase, but without a cape, she didn't work. But luckily, she was indestructible. So then she tries a cape. She's bulletproof, so she breaks up this crime, but there's a problem with her cape because it was not bulletproof. So these are things with our own superpowers we try in different things, and we keep at it. We refine ways, and we just notice when things don't work, when we become bruised by that, which is the world, and doesn't mean that we are not able to be this powerful person. Another person I was loved another story I heard about this week is about LeBron James. He's a basketball superstar. If you don't know him, plays for the Los Angeles Lakers, who just won the NBA championship. But there was a point in the season when the Lakers, and really all of sports, were profoundly upset because they were already doing social action, and a young man, Jacob Blake, was shot 7 times, and still to this day he's paralyzed. He's unable to walk. And they're really upset because of all this work they were doing didn't seem to have an impact. So they refused to play a game, and they talked about canceling their whole program. Actually, all sports, baseball, hockey, everybody canceled their games for a couple days. And but you know, LeBron James may be a superstar, but he doesn't act alone. And it reminded me that we can all reach out. Now, he reached out to a friend of his for sage advice. It's not somebody's cell phone number that all of us have. He actually called Barack Obama, former president. And Barack told him to keep playing and dedicate his season to honoring Jacob Blake and other people. And so they did do that, and I admire LeBron for doing that. But we have in our life superhero teams that allow us to have a deeper connection with life and support us and mirror back to us when we're being less than, when we're playing small, and that when we can play bigger, when we can play from our superpower, and when we can make a difference in how we do it, how we open up to this life, and the choices we make, the superpower that's within us. We don't have to be limited. Even in this pandemic, there's so much we can do to actualize our superpowers. Nothing keeps us from making phone calls, connecting with people online, social distance gatherings like we're having today, that connect with people, that you can use these superpowers in this way. And I believe that every choice we make allows you to use both wisdom and compassion. They're both called, wisdom and compassion are called two wings of the same bird. On today, I consider it 2 parts of your cape so that you can fly. That you access the wisdom and the compassion that is always renewed within you, that can always be a superpower, that does make a difference in the world. And we say yes to this choice. We say yes to the truth of our superpower within us. I have an affirmation for us today that just connects us, that I'd like us to say 3 times. I recognize the one power and activate my superpower. Again, today I recognize the one power and activate my superpower. Today I recognize the one power and activate my superpower. So let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment is that each of you are connected to the superpower, which is the oneness of all power, and we're connected with all people. So we just allow Spirit to be the truth within us. Allow Spirit to be the superpowers. We surrender, we allow ourselves to be transformed to be the superhero. We let go, and we allow. We know that Spirit is this power within us, and we know it is already so, and so it is. above all from today, I hope you take with you that within us is the one power that is the superpower we are. I'm going to turn this over to Daniel Nahmod to play my favorite song of his, and one you might have heard Diego Garcia, our former music director, play. And just let his song fill you up with the truth that there is only one power in this world.
There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit or Jesus or Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, yeah. One power is what we are. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. Oh, what we are is one. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Thank you, Damod. Thank you, Daniel. That was so beautiful. That was perfect. Took my words away there. Yeah, so touching, so touching. So I wanted to remind you that today we're having an event after this, and it's in person, and there has been a Ruth Bader Ginsburg sighting, just to let you know that. She is a superhero, in fact, and someone is dressed up as her, so you might want to come up. We have a super mermaid, superwoman, many super people here. So come and join us, and beg your pardon? Super blonde, that's right, super blonde. So, and I also just want to honor you for the cards of intent you've already turned in, the ones you're planning, as well as your online giving, your checks you mail in. We appreciate that. We just want to bless it, so we're going to bless it in the shield today, and knowing it's a plenty of. So we just affirm divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. We also bless all our families and children at this time, knowing this was not a normal Halloween last night. We will return to our family traditions in time. We just bless you in helping your children understand that. We raise our hands and say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. So no no Zoom after community, after service check-in kind of thing today, because we'll go straight to the in-person gathering outside. So we just want to offer you our community blessing. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now Daniel again.
Oh, what a nice service. Thank you for having me. Very fun. You know, we took our boy yesterday trick-or-treating, which I know can appear in some circles as an act of rebellion of some kind, but we just really wanted to give it a try, to let him have some normalcy and, more importantly, some candy. And you know what? One of the loveliest things we saw, and most houses were not open for Halloween, but a fair number were, and it turned out to be a really special night. And one of the most special things that we saw last night was a couple of families had built these cool long funnels, like something out of Dr. Seuss, and they were standing, you know, as safe distance as they wanted to stand to keep themselves safe, you know, in their own by their own measure, right? They were as far away as they were comfortable being, and they built these long funnels that led out to the sidewalk. And when a kid came up to say trick or treat, they would send treats through this funnel. And so not only did they provide Halloween for the kids walking by, not only did they guard their own boundaries and their own sense of safety, which of course I'd want them to do, but they made it into this wonderful game and went all kinds of extra yards to make that happen. It was not a small craft project what they had done. And that just really made a lasting impression on me, that people went so out of their way for a small number of kids out in that neighborhood where we were looking for a little bit of a festive Halloween experience, and the kids got it, and so did those folks on the porch with their long funnel. So you know what? This is a song that comes to mind to close. That maybe you know, maybe you don't, but you're certainly invited to sing along with me, and I'll shout out some words as I go that you can join me on. And the last thing I'll say is, besides, thank you again, and besides, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I also want to invite you to hear lots of music. I have become quite the online performer since I can no longer, at least for the moment, be an in-person performer, which I've done for over 20 years. Facebook. I have a page on Facebook. I don't like Facebook, but Facebook has really been of service to me and to people who like my music, and to my family, really, because it's been enabled me to perform and indirectly support my family through live performances. So if you're interested at all in lots and lots, I've given about 50-something concerts now on Facebook, and actually in the last 2 weeks I've been doing a daily song of calm and peace of mind leading up to Election Day. And I do Monday night concerts now every 7 o'clock every Monday night. So Daniel Nahmod USA is my Facebook handle. Daniel Nahmod USA. You are invited. For God's sake, you can go ahead and binge watch. I mean, there's probably 50 hours. I don't know how much I've done. It's been insane. My little boy is at this point, he's like, "You're doing another show?" And it's sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 15. I've been doing a series of interviews. I'll be interviewing Nemo. So I'm doing lots of things. So Daniel Nahmod USA is the place to go. You're invited, free of charge. It's my intention for it to make your day a little nicer. Here we go. A song to sing along with and to close. Thank you again. The song is called Love Is My Decision. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start, can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. All right, here we go. Second verse. Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to stand on that bridge, to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive, can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. Right here and now. One more time. Third verse. Here we go. Love is my decision. It's up to me. It's up to me to dance down that road, to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load, can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. My decision right here and now. Election Day to you.
Please join us for our in-person gathering. And as we move forward, we know we are the superpower within, and we access it and activate it and are super. And so it is.